The new Black Wall Street. Do it right, build wealth, live life, economic empowerment, real tips, insight on the new Black Wall Street. It's on the new Black Wall Street. He's your host.
All right, my beautiful people, this is ERGJ, your certified financial educator here with ERGJ Enterprises. And today I wanted to do kind of an exclusive, and I wanted to talk to you guys about the evolution of the entrepreneur. Yesterday, I went and talked to some students at Cedar Grove High School, and I introduced to them the stock market. And in doing that, we started to talk about the rise of Netflix and the evolution of Netflix. So I wanted today to present it to you because, again, these are things that I teach kids, and they understand and they get it. And I found that they get more than what the adults do. So I wanted to make sure I had this conversation with you guys, and hopefully to help elevate your mind, especially if you're a business owner. But even if you are not an entrepreneur, but you're a entrepreneur, meaning that you want to get into business for yourself, I think there's going to be a great conversation for you as well, because it's going to help to help to elevate your level of thinking. Now, we're talking about Netflix, and we're talking about Blockbuster. So let's go back in history because we can learn a lot about history. We know that if you guys remember, Blockbuster was the king of renting videos and games and things like that. I remember going to Blockbuster all the time to grab a game or grab a video or movie or something like that, take it home, rent it for 3 days and got to bring it back. And I also remember all those fees I had to pay when I was late. And so basically what Blockbuster did, they took the model from the library, the public library system, and they brought it to games, videos, things like that. So you could go and you go rent your game, or you can go rent a movie, and then you could actually take it home and then bring it back. So there was this thing. But then as Blockbuster was successful for all of those years, here came something new. And so this is the idea that Netflix came. And now, if you don't remember how Netflix got started, many of you guys know Netflix today, but you don't really know how they got started. And so just keep in mind that Netflix itself, over the past 5 years, has grown more than 741%. And so what that means is that if you or I, as we have been investing in Netflix with our dollars, in other words, supporting them to be able to make more money, you probably have a subscription right now, you are helping them to get rich. But my question has been and will continue to be, is Netflix sending you one check? Have you gotten paid from Netflix at all? Over the past 5 years, 741% worth of growth. Have you gotten any of it? Or have you just been funneling your dollars into Netflix because you want entertainment? Well, at some point, we got to start thinking about how I can not only just be entertained, but also how my wallets can get fatter. And one of those ways that could have been yours, an opportunity, was just to invest in what you saw was taking over the market. So here's the deal. We watched Netflix rise. We participated in their rise, but we did not participate with our dollars. In other words, our wallets didn't rise with Netflix while we were helping them to rise. Now, here's what happened. Blockbuster was doing their thing with the renting. Now, let's talk about renting for example, for a second, because here's how it goes. Say I got these pair of scissors, right? I own these pair of scissors, and I paid $1 for these scissors. But say Anthony here, Anthony's like, hey, I need to cut something. Evan, can I borrow your scissors? And I'm like, yeah, Anthony, give me 50 cents. And you can borrow my scissors. Here you go, Anthony. He cuts and he gives it back. I still own these scissors. And Cookie's like, hey, I need to cut something. I'm like, hey, cool, Cookie, you want to borrow my scissors? She's like, yeah. I say, oh, give me 50 cents. You can borrow my scissors. So she borrows my scissors. She cuts something. She gives it back. In 2 transactions, I just made my return on investment. In other words, I'm back to zero. But now, we got Marty here. Marty's like, hey, I need to cut something. I'm like, hey, Marty, I got some scissors. You want to borrow me? Like, yeah. I'm like, okay, here you go. He goes and cuts something. He gives it back. Now I'm making nothing but pure profit. And guess what? I still own the scissors. I still own the scissors. And this is what Netflix is capitalized on. They own the content. Me and you are renting it. You see what I'm saying? Just like rent to own. If you go to Aaron's, you want an appliance. While you are under that lease agreement, you're renting that property just like a leased car. You're renting it. And you don't own it until you pay for it in full. But by the time you pay for it in full, those companies have made so much profit. So anyway, So Blockbuster, you know, it was a standalone front store. You had to go to the store, drive your gas, take your kids, stay in the store for about 30 minutes as you looked at all the new releases and tried to figure out what you wanted. Netflix said, you know what? We got an idea where instead of having a standalone store, we're going to have a standalone vending machine. So many of you guys know about Redbox. What Redbox is doing is they are copying what Netflix does. So here's what happens. Whenever somebody does something successful, people start to copy it, right? So Netflix had these standalone vending machines, brand new. We were like, what is this? You know, you can go and put your money in, get your movie, and then you could return it, just like Redbox. This was Netflix probably 5 years ago, something like that. So Blockbuster now has some competition. Now, Blockbuster would rent you videos for $3.99, right? Netflix was renting them for 99 cents because they were concerned more about quantity, right? Boom, bam, just 99 cents every time, 99 cents. Now, Blockbuster had so much inventory. They had to store. You know, when a new release come out, right, they got to put up 50 copies. Netflix said, well, hey, we're only going to have a select amount of stuff in our vending machine. It's going to be new, up-to-date stuff, but hey, if it's out, you got to come back in 2 days when somebody return it. But you only going to get, you're only going to have the availability of what we have in our vending machine. And as it comes back, then you can get you can get it. So Blockbuster was faced with a choice here. Do we compete with Netflix? Because remember, Blockbuster came out there, Blockbuster Express, which means you still had to go to the store, go to their vending machine, or Blockbuster started partnering with some of the stores to put their Blockbuster Express in. But by the time they did that, Netflix did what? They evolved. They said, hey, we don't just have vending machines now. Now we have a mailing subscription list. So now you can sign up and for a monthly fee, and you can just get a video sent to you, mailed to you. When you're done with that video, you put a list together of what you want to see next. When you're done with that video, you mail it back, and we mail you the next thing on your list, all for one monthly fee. So instead of going to the vending machine every time paying $1, or going to Blockbuster every time and paying $3.99, $3.99, $3.99, $3.99, you pay us one monthly subscription, and we're going to send you the next thing on your list when you send whichever you watch back. So you'll always have a funnel of stuff that you wanted to see. So that was the evolution of Netflix, right? They started with standalone, then they did the mailing thing, and then now we see where Netflix is right now. They are strictly online, pretty much service. So now there's no mailing things back and forth. There's no inventory that they have to keep. All they need is digital copies of what it is of their exclusive content, and they stream it online. So like you said, Anthony, they've gone from a place where they had inventory to a place where now they don't have physical inventory. They got intellectual property. Everybody say intellectual property. So it's something that is produced but doesn't take up any warehouse space that they can sell over and over and over and over and over again. Streaming, online streaming. Now here's the interesting thing. Did you know that Blockbuster had the opportunity to actually buy Netflix? And here's why I want to talk about this today, because sometimes it's the decisions that we don't make that affect us the most. So former Blockbuster workers all over, this is from Business Insider. And it says the Blockbuster CEO once passed up a chance to buy Netflix for only $50 million. So instead of, and I'm going to read this to you guys real quick, I'm going to talk about this. But former Blockbuster workers all over the world, this is from a Business Insider article back in 2015. Former Blockbuster workers all over the world must cringe every time they hear the words online streaming and on demand. That's because back in 2000, Reed Hastings approached former Blockbuster CEO John Antioco and asked for $50 million to give away the company he founded called Netflix. Antioco, thinking that it was a very small niche business, ended the negotiations and didn't buy Netflix, which at the time was a DVD mailing service. Remember I told you guys about the DVD mailing service? Now, Netflix, just short of being worth the same as CBS last year, soared past the television network owner with a $32.9 billion market valuation. Netflix also reached the 50 million mark in subscribers in its paid service and became available in 40 countries. So think about this. Mr. Antioch had the opportunity to buy Netflix for $50 million back when they were just doing mailing services. This was after Netflix had transitioned from being a vending machine where you could go and get your movies and stuff to now being a place where they were mailing their stuff back and forth to you. Basically what he said is that, you know what? I don't see the future in what you're doing. And I think that as a business, we are much bigger than you and we can continue to be strong. And instead of collaborating with you, instead of basically owning you, because he was going to be able to own the whole thing for $50 million, he decided he was going to try to compete with the younger minds who knew about the future of business. And this is where people get stuck. You think that you can keep doing what you're doing. But I want to remind you of the story of Blockbuster. They decided they were going to keep doing what they were doing and not evolve in their strategy, not tap into the youth who are really telling where the future is going. And guess where Blockbuster is now? Out of business. Netflix was up and coming. They had the fresh ideas. They had the young people who were thinking ahead. Netflix is now the largest online streaming on-demand company in the world. And Mr. Reed, who could have sold for $50 million, now has a company that's worth over $30 billion. So sometimes it's the decisions that you don't make that impact you over here with Mr. Antioch with Blockbuster, but it's also some of the decisions that work in your favor with Netflix and his owner. Because he could have sold Netflix and he would only have $50 million. But he kept it, and now he's got a company worth over $30 billion. Now, also, something I was reading from Business Insider. Also, I'll put that link in the comments below while you guys are asking. But also, there's this quote that says that all things work together for the good, right? So, so Netflix could have sold and only got $50 million. But because I guess Blockbuster didn't see the vision, Blockbuster didn't evolve, Blockbuster decided they were going to keep doing business the way they was doing business, they're not here today in 2017. So I say this to say to you as an entrepreneur, as somebody that's in business, how are you going to evolve? Because if you keep doing business the same way that you were doing business 10 years ago, eventually you're going to be extinct. The same way that Blockbuster is now extinct. But if you tap into the resources of the youth, like if you only have old people running your business, you're going to be out of business soon. But if you start to hire or start to at least maybe bring in some what they call it, people that'll come and watch, what's the word? Somebody give me the word. When you have a young person that's going to come into your business and watch what you do, they can learn from you. You could mentees or it's another word I'm looking for. But anyway, if you employ or you at least bring in some young people into your organization that can bring life. Everybody say an intern. Yes, thank you so much, Dominique. If you can bring life, everybody say life. You want to bring life into your business. You want to bring freshness into your business. Then you'll start to get some ideas that you never would have thought of because the youth are the future. I say all this to say as well, I've learned that in investing, if I pay attention to what the youth are doing, if I involve the kids in my circle, the youth will be able to tell me things that I don't know because they are the trend. The youth are the trend. So here's what we got to do, guys. We've got to take the wisdom of the ages from our elders, and we have to bring the freshness, the enthusiasm, the creativity of the youth, and we have to bring it together. Let me say that again. We got to take the wisdom of the ages, take what Blockbuster did good, but we have to bring the freshness. We have to bring the creativity, the imagination of the youth, the Netflix, and we merge it together. If we do that, then we will have a company, or we'll have a community, or we'll have an organization, or we'll have a product, or we'll have a family structure that's worth billions and billions of dollars. But if you, as an elder, continue to dismiss the youth because they don't do things the way that you do things, they don't think the way that you think, then you're going to find that soon you're going to be extinct. Now, on the flip side, if you as a youth don't involve your elders, then you're going to be operating out of being naive, and you're going to be easily fooled because you're not paying attention to the wisdom from the ages. So you're going to find yourself broke, busted, and disgusted. You've got all of the ideas, but you need the wisdom of the ages for structure, for guidance, to know what didn't work in the past, to know your history. So let me say that again. We must, as a community, as a business, as a family, as an organization, tap into the wisdom of the ages, the blockbuster, and connect it with the imagination and the creativity of the youth, the Netflix. Just imagine what you'll have if you bring them together. Well, hey, that's all I wanted to talk about today, because when I was having this conversation with the youth yesterday, they were getting it. They were understanding. And they were saying that we're not going to continue to set the trends without benefiting from these trends that we set financially. 5 years of Netflix, 741% growth, and most of us are still watching while other people get rich. Well, hey, this is ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprises. I had these conversations all the time, but the way you get exclusive content is Club Millie. So I understand that many of you guys are waiting to see what Club Millie is all about. We're going to be rolling it out February 1st for you to free access to see the whole plan. I'm gonna lay it all out to my people so you know exactly where we're going. But there's some people like, hey, I don't need to wait. I want to go ahead and sign up. Hey, feel free to do that. You can do that at www.ergj.net. But we talk about investing philosophy. We bring investment education to our urban community, and we also teach the youth. Hey, this is where we got to go, because the war is economic right now. It's also political, but we need to get our money up so that we can then buy the policies. Well, hey, guys, I hope that today helped. I hope that you are starting to evolve in your thinking. And I've said this before, and some of you guys have got it. We're now moving from a digital marketing space to a live marketing space. So if you have some content that you can do live and you refuse to do it because you haven't mastered the art of public speaking, get somebody to do it for you. You know, hire someone. Like, people love cute girls, right? So if you get a girl that's cute that can do your message, hire her. Let her do it. Or get an intern. Let them do it. The business right now is live marketing. People that can capitalize off of live marketing are making strides. And you're going to see all the big businesses going to live streaming, live. So you can keep doing business the way you've been doing it, or you can evolve so that you don't become extinct. What is ERGJ from ERGJ Enterprises with New Black Wall Street? Hey, this is what we do, man. Just remember this, guys. It takes a village, but it starts with us. Let's build as we climb together.
Thanks for joining the show. We gave a lot of great tips, but it's time to go. Take the knowledge we shared, hope you use it and grow. We will see you all there at the next episode of The New Black Wall Street. The New Black Wall Street. The New